Alrighty, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this edition of Biz Talks. My name is Fred Holmes. I'm an independent distributor with Zija International. We're promoting the natural health revolution. Dressed up for the webinar this evening. Welcome to my home office. I always like to point that out because it's incredible blessing to be able to, especially for a guy like me, to be able to build an international business from the comfort of home. Some of you know my story. I have my 91-year-old mother at home with me, and this is 99% of what I do with our company is done just like this, from home, my little home office here. But this evening, very excited this evening to share some information with you. This broadcast, whoops, wait a minute here. Let me, I don't know how that happened. Reed, I'm gonna remove you. Sorry about that, buddy. I messed up on my settings here. This evening, this is a special broadcast, and it's really for those of you that have been invited to be part of this broadcast. Those of you that are maybe being introduced to our products from Zija International, maybe a friend or relative business associate has been talking to you about the concepts of creating a secondary income stream. And so what we're going to do over the next couple of minutes is we're going to share a little bit about our company, our products, the opportunity that's available here. And then I'm going to introduce one of our newer distributors, who's Al and Cheryl Lewis, have really done a tremendous job building their business. They're already at what we consider to be one of our mid-level management positions, Gold Distributor. They've done an incredible job, and I think their story is going to be very informational to you. But first, let me go ahead and start out with a little bit of about Zija International. We're a relatively young company in terms of the legacy companies in our profession. We're a little over 10 years in business. The founder and owner of Zija International is a gentleman by the name of Ken Brailsford. Now, you may not recognize Ken's name, but the owner of Zija International is an icon in both the nutritional industry and the direct marketing industries. Ken Brailsford is known as the father of encapsulation. He is the first person that was able to, that introduced to the marketplace the concept of taking medicinal herbs, putting them into gel caps, to make it easier for the average person to be able to consume the benefits of medicinal herbs. Ken's very first company has become a legacy company in the network marketing profession. Nature's Sunshine was started back in the early 70s. Ken started that company. It continues today, over 40 years in business, probably approaching 45 years now. It's done billions of dollars in sales. Ken went on in the 80s to launch his second company. Some of you may recognize that company, Enrich International. That company now continues on after the merger with Royal Numico and the Rexall Showcase is as Unicity. Now, that company has been in business over 30 years. So Ken has built two of the multi-decade, multi-billion-dollar companies within the profession of network marketing. And when you look at our profession, we're talking about, Reed, I'm going to have to ask you to not come on. Sorry about that, buddy. In this profession of network marketing, we're looking over 70 years now. This industry has produced literally tens of thousands of companies. Yet today, there's only a handful, a couple of dozen companies that have stood the test of time. And Ken Brailsford is a gentleman that's built two of those companies. Now, I want you to imagine this. If you had an opportunity to get involved with a Ken Brailsford company in the early days of the development of that company, doesn't it make sense that that would almost be a guarantee of a successful track record and the potential for a successful business? This is what I saw a number of years ago when I looked at Zija International. Now, combine the experience of Ken Brailsford in building large, successful companies. Add to that that several of the top companies in our profession were actually started by people that worked for Ken, that learned how to do this kind of business, you know, under Ken's tutelage. Companies like For Life Research, Tahitian Noni, Zango, Sunrider Products. These are all companies that have been in business decades, have done billions in sales. If you had an opportunity to be part of that kind of legacy, wouldn't that be something you'd want to be involved in? Now, add to it the second component, which is our products. Zija International, we're known as the Moringa Company. We were the very first people to bring Moringa oleifera to the marketplace. You'll want to do some research on that. The National Institutes of Health a few years ago noted in their newsletter, it was April of 2008, that Moringa oleifera was the most nutrient-rich botanical known to man. It was the most nutrient-rich botanical they've ever studied. They've studied over 5,000 botanicals. There are now literally hundreds of Western medical studies reviewing the health benefits of Moringa oleifera. And I could go on forever about the results that people have had with Moringa. And in many cases, nothing less than miraculous results people have had. And we were the first people to bring this to market. We are still the #1 company in that profession, far outstretching anybody else. We've added over the last few years a couple of more product divisions, all focused on the natural health revolution. We have the leading line of Moringa oleifera nutritional drinks, sports energy products. Again, all natural, all healthy. Essential oils at the clinical grade level. Natural, healthy skincare products. Personal care products for the home. We've just recently introduced a brand new division, which is water purification. We have the best water filtration product in the marketplace, literally hundreds and hundreds of dollars less than the best-selling unit on the marketplace, and nobody has the components that we have for water purity. When you put all of those things together, what you have is a company with, you know, the highest level of corporate experience and integrity and track record. Add to that products that meet a genuine need. You don't have to convince people they need better health, better nutrition, ways to promote healthy living without pharmaceutical drugs and so on. When you know, and the chemicals that are in all the kinds of things we're consuming. Add to that the third ingredient, which is timing. Zija International, over the last few years, we've been putting together an infrastructure that rivals companies that do several $billion a year in sales. We own the plantations our raw materials are grown in. We own our own pharmaceutical grade manufacturing facility. We're the only people in the nutritional supplement market space that manufactures our products to pharmaceutical grade quality. Put that together with the corporate team that we've got. Ken Brailsford has surrounded himself with some of the finest leadership in the network marketing profession. Add to that, today we have attracted some of the top field leaders in network marketing from a distributor perspective. People that have long track records of success, integrity. When you put all those things together, and then you recognize that we're literally just a small percentage of what our current manufacturing and distribution capacity is, that's the sweet spot. An opportunity to be in with a company that is destined to be one of the top, you know, 3 or 4 or 5 companies in our profession over the next several years, yet be in before the masses. Imagine what that could do for you and your family. I had an opportunity to join this company several years ago when it was just a small sliver of what it is today. And it has been an incredible blessing, not just to me and my family, but to many, many other people. Now, what I want to do right now is I'm going to bring Al Lewis. Al, just give you a little heads up, I'm going to bring you over to this side here. I've had an opportunity to meet Al and his lovely wife, Cheryl, here about, I think, it was not quite a year ago. Let me unmute you here. Hey, Al, how you doing?
Doing great. How you doing, Fred?
Very good. The only, folks, I got to be honest with you, the only hesitation I had about bringing Al onto this broadcast is I really don't like guys that are better looking than me to kind of,
You are too kind. Thank you so much, Fred.
Yeah, I like your shirt. You got the Zija shirt going there. That looks great, buddy.
Bam! You got it. You got to live. You got to live it.
Yeah, well, my work shirts. I got a bunch of Zija shirts. I call them my work shirts for when we do this kind of thing, right?
There you go. Walk what you talk.
I was just introducing you. I had a chance to meet Al and his lovely wife Cheryl here. I'm thinking it wasn't quite a year ago. New distributors, getting great product results, excited about the opportunity. They have plugged into the resources that we're making available in the field, training, support systems, presentation systems like what we're doing this evening. And very excited to announce that Al and Cheryl have just recently, I believe it was just before it was in December, I believe, attained the gold executive rank in our company. What that really means is they've built a consumer base and a distribution team that's creating literally thousands of dollars in sales volume on a weekly basis. On your way to being a part of our Team Benz program, where the company will literally pay for the Mercedes-Benz for you to drive. I know you've been looking at pictures trying to figure out which one you're going to get. But Al, listen, thanks for joining me this evening. I wanted to take a couple of minutes and give the people that are watching, both our new distributors, in a way of, kind of giving them some focus, some vision, some inspiration, as well as the guests that have been invited to take a look at what we're doing this evening, a little feel for what the average person that takes a look at what we're doing, who they are, why they get involved, and what they do to create success. So maybe let's just kind of back up a little bit. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your background? What were you doing for a living before getting involved in network marketing?
Okay. Well, first, again, let me thank you, Fred, for inviting me to the call. I really appreciate it. My background before getting involved in network marketing was I was a military guy. I'm a freedom guy, so I love freedom. And actually, I was in the military serving, and we had recently come from overseas. This was back in the early 90s. Mm-hmm. And an individual who was living in the same apartment complex we were living in, he came to me with a great idea, great concept, some products that were out of this world. And I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. So he said, hey, you can make money at this. And I'm like, what? So, hey, we said, okay, we're in. I like making money. That sounds good. I had an entrepreneurial bone in my body as a young kid with paper routes and everything else. So anyway, we actually, we got involved with that company. We built a pretty decent team, but being in the military, you have to PCS and you have to leave. We were so excited. We just went out on fire telling everybody, and folks were like, wow, this is cool. And they jumped in and joined us. And we actually started making some money. So I was like, whoa, this is a pretty cool concept. That's the residual income concept hit my heart. And I was like, this is possible. But when we left, our team fell apart. So I really didn't know about duplication and training. I was just on fire. So I said, oh boy, we were so discouraged. I said, that's it, I'm done. A couple of years later, somebody else, a guy who was actually lower in rank than me, came up to me and said, hey, I just got a $2,000 check. Check this out. I'm like, what? What did you do? He said, man, I just started sharing this information with folks about long distance. I'm like, are you kidding me? I jumped in that thing, got a few people in. But, this was a time when folks we'll pay $50 for them to change over to our company, and somebody else will pay $100 for them to join their company. So I was like, this network marketing thing, the concept worked, but there's not a company out here to make it, make it big in this thing. That's what I thought. Well, a couple of years later, Fred, I got involved with another company because my wife was really sick. And the guy said, hey, look, this stuff can help. I said, okay, I don't want your network marketing deal, but I want your product. I use his products. And we fell in love with the deal. We were customers and part-time builders in that company for 16 years. I said, I'm going to get out of the military. I can provide freedom to people by financial freedom, health freedom with this company is what I thought. When I retired, the company actually retired from us. So they, the leadership, integrity, they really, it was an ugly deal. So, but I do have to tell you, one thing that we really love about the network marketing industry is that you actually can run into some great people.
Mm-hmm.
So on our journey with this company for 16 years, we met some great mentors and leaders, and you know some of them, Matt McDonald and Pat Terry,
Yep.
Reed Nelson, Reed and Yvonne Nelson, we you know, Pam and Charles Foster. So we know a few of these, and Dennis Estes, you know, he's now an ambassador with Zija International. And really, when this other company fell out of integrity, we said, what are you guys going to do? We're following you wherever we go. And they did some evaluating and introduced us to Zija.
You know, Al, your story, and one of the reasons, because I recall this from a previous meeting with you, one of the reasons I wanted you to join us this evening for this edition of Biz Talks is because your story is an awful lot like a lot of people that have, you know, they've seen the vision of creating a home-based business with focus on others, you know, helping people with products, helping people with income opportunities. And when your focus, I had this conversation with another fellow earlier today, when your focus is external, when you care more about your customers' results than you care about the money you made making the sale, when you care more about your new distributor getting a paycheck than you care about your own, when you have that philosophy, that's what drives this business. That's the right way to build this kind of business. And the people that you know, it's all about me, they tend not to do very well. Here's the problem. It's incredibly difficult to find the right company. I'm going to tell you, the hardest part of what we do in our profession is finding the right company. And so your story really resonated with me in that, you know, I wanted people to hear you 3 different companies, excited about each one, but they weren't the right one. So fast forward, what was it about Zija International that caused you and Cheryl to say, you know what, let's try again?
I'm going to tell you, it could not have been coincidence. Like I said, I had retired from the military, and we moved to Austin, Texas, and we had to get a new set of doctors. Cheryl actually was diagnosed with a life-threatening condition. Mm-hmm. So there was a health issue, a health need, therefore it's big time. There was also a need for, listen, I am unemployable because of the residual income concept. And I said, I'm not going to corporate America. I was half dead. You know, I was broke coming out of the military. And I said, I'm going to go and build a network marketing business. The other company left. We talked to those leaders of integrity, the ones who, like you say, they were committed. We want a company that our people can make a real living at, something that is real. So mm-hmm. They've vetted 100 companies. I trusted them, but I did my own evaluating and vetting, and we went to Utah to check out the company.
Okay.
A what we would call nothing less than a miraculous experience there, mm-hmm. you know, in our opinion. And we said, oh my goodness, this is something huge. Now, why Zija International for me? I'm a business guy. My undergrad's in business, military guy, you know. So when we went through Zija, when we was researching Zija, I'm like 10 years and this is a small company. What's going on here? But I also knew that they were still around after 10 years in a small company. So, but it piqued my interest. We went through the warehouse, and the warehouse, I kid you not, that warehouse may have been 0.25% full. And it wasn't a big warehouse, a medium-sized warehouse in my mind. And I'm like, why are we not doing a lot of business? But then the president and CEO said, listen, in Zija International, what we're going to do is first, we will be best. And then we will be first. Mm-hmm. Now, that's vision to me. And I'm like, wow, if you build a foundation for 10 years, that's a massive structure that you're going to put up. So he said, we are already best in all of our product categories. And we were a testament to that. It changed our lives. And then he said, hey, when we have we're gonna launch becoming first in September at our summit. And I just got excited. Cheryl and I, in a couple of months, we actually won an initial trip back to the company for a bronze success trip.
I'll bet you that's where we met the first time.
That's where we met the first time. So when we were there, we went on a tour again. This was like 6 months later. When we went to that warehouse was almost 90% full. And I was like, whoa, we're in the right place. And they were talking about building another warehouse in 6 months. My mind is like, okay, this is the ship to be on. I could go on about the company, but Ken Brailsford, you already talked about some of the great, the integrity of this company, because you don't want something to fall out from under you. But this deal is the best thing that I've seen coming. And I've been telling my friends, I say, hey, look, I don't want to oversell nothing, but I think my ship's come in. You better come to port and jump on.
There are so many of us. I've been around the industry for, over 30 years now. And for so many of us, like yourself, who've been there, done that, seen the good, bad, and the ugly, an incredible blessing to realize that you can be part of a Ken Brailsford, Ken Brailsford's next, third, and final company. He's already said this will be bigger than anything he's ever done, but here's the real key: to be in before the masses. So yes. I know the real question, the brand new distributors, or maybe this is their first presentation, or guest that's watching, we only got a couple of minutes left. Give me the nickel version. You and Cheryl, you had some experience. What did you do when you started to get off to a fast start? What did you do?
Well, the first thing we did is we saw that diamond system, and we're like, hey, we're going for gold.
Okay.
Not the gold system. We're going for the Olympic gold, the diamond system. So we got that diamond system, and I'll tell you what, in 60 days, we actually working with those individuals who were, Pam and Charles Foster, Mac and Pat, working with those individuals, we actually got back all of our investment and went into profitability. So this thing, it really, and we really did not go full bore in this thing in less than 60 days. 60 days, we got it all back. It was amazing. So we're just excited about this opportunity. But the most important thing is, Fred, the number of lives that have been affected by us introducing people to a product and a company that just changes lives the way it's changed my life, the way it's changed my wife's life. I wish you had more time. We'd tell some stories, but honestly, to tell you the truth, get in. We tell everybody, get in where you fit in. Well, when we start this vision, we fit in with that diamond system. That's it. If you don't have it, borrow it. Everybody got a little credit card, man, apply for one. My daughter's in college and everybody's sending her credit card applications every day.
Yeah,
so
they do.
This is a huge deal.
Al, I really appreciate you taking time to join us. I appreciate in particular the passion that you and Cheryl bring to our opportunity. It's because of people like you joining us at this stage of development that I recognize that everything I've said was going to happen with Zija International is destined to happen. Excited for you guys. Looking forward down the road next couple of months, seeing you qualify for the Mercedes-Benz. And then, dude, I want you to give me a ride, okay?
All right, it's on. It's on. Thank you very much.
All right, and you tell Cheryl we're going to ask her to join us here in a couple of weeks and share the same story, but from her perspective. I'd love to hear her story. Plus, she's a lot better looking than you are.
She is. She is. I'll tell you. I agree 100%. So thank you
All
so
right,
much.
buddy. Hey, thanks so much. I'm going to send you back to the other side of the webinar here. Let me do this.
Bye-bye.
Change out. Thank you, Al. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed the last several minutes. We talked briefly about the 3 ingredients that you want to look for to create a successful home-based business. It all starts with, everything starts and falls with leadership. We have an opportunity in Zija International to be part of Ken Brailsford's 3rd and final project. Ken has already created 2 multi-decade, multi-billion dollar companies. And Ken has said, this is the finest products, and this will be the biggest company he'll ever develop. We've got life-changing products that meet recognized needs. People know they want what we have, they just don't know it's available, and they can't get the products from any place else but as independent distributor of Zija's products. And then finally, it's timing. We have today already in place an infrastructure we could create over $1 billion a year in our products without even doing anything. I mean, it's all in place, you know, add a second shift, yet we're just a small fraction of that. This is why I call 2018 the launch of Zija International. It's a sweet spot where everything has been done, and now it's simply time to develop the distribution organization. Everything's in place. We have online training, we have online presentations, everything necessary to support your efforts in whatever level of goals you have for yourself, your family, for your community, for the causes that you care about. Everything's already here. All we need is for you to be involved, follow our simple system of duplication. And so what I want to do in closing is two things. First of all, if you were invited to take a look at what we're doing today, if you haven't tried our products, try our products. Okay, for some people, that's an essential ingredient in making a decision. For others, you may be ready to get involved with us. If that's the case, join us. The person that invited you to be part of this broadcast or directed you to the replay link, they'll get you the information you need to try the products, make a decision to get involved with us. And if you decide to get going now, on Saturday morning, 2 days from now, on Saturday morning, we will host a very special new distributor fast start training, where all the elements that are necessary to create your future, that will be provided for you, the training, the support systems, and so on. So I encourage you to join us for that. The link for that Saturday morning broadcast, 10 o'clock Pacific. That'll be 1 p.m. Eastern time. The person that asked you to be part of this can give that to you. So I'm going to go ahead and close it out for tonight. And one last shout out to Al for joining us this evening. Al Lewis is an inspiration to many, many people, and we're excited to have people of his caliber as part of our Zija team. And with that, wish you all a wonderful evening. I look forward to seeing you on Saturday morning. Thanks for joining us. Have a great rest of your evening. Bye-bye.